Hello and welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Yesenia Taveras. Amillion The Poet is an international hip-hop artist, award-winning poet, best-selling author, motivational speaker, and Delaware Key to the City holder. He's appeared on BET, MTV, and VH1 networks, amongst many others, and his astonishing musical abilities has led him to headline tours overseas, including United Kingdom, Jamaica, Amsterdam, and as well as across the United States. But above all that, he'll tell you in a quick second that he's a father first. He joins us now. Welcome to the show, Amillion.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's such an honor. I mean, we love what you do here at WIT 22. I know this is not the first for you.
I appreciate it. I'm humble.
Yes, it's definitely amazing to have you part of the team here.
Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. I got to live up to that intro. Oh, man.
Well, you've been living up to it.
I'm trying.
So talk to us for all of those who don't know, where did the name Amillion come from? A lot of people think that it's just a stage name, but it's truly part of your identity and who you are.
Yes,
I'm really big on people taking away the titles that they carry every day within their family, within work, and really trying to identify with who they are, because all names have meaning. But this is truly your name, Amillion. So talk to us about that.
It's truly my name. My full name is Lucas Amillion Mayfield. And my whole family's always called me Amillion, but I used to be afraid of it. Probably up to about the end of high school, I started to really embrace it. And when I say afraid, I just meant to tell the average person or the everyday person that I would meet, roll call, they didn't know who Amillion was. But now it's like something that I make sure you know before I leave the room.
That's right.
So it means 1 in a million. I had a 1 in a million chance of living when I was born into this world, when my mom was induced with labor. So.
Yes, talk to us, because you came into this world early.
Yes, not necessarily early. Let's just say in a little bit of a rush. Yeah, there was a very traumatic experience in the household. And she went into labor, had me January 2nd. And I think the funny story is she said she would have Amillion before she turned 30. And they thought she was talking about money, so she still had me, and that's 1 in a million. So that's what the movement is all about now, inspiring you and everyone behind that camera lens that they're 1 in a million too. They possess something inside them that's priceless.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
And talk to us about your mom. She was a single mom
when
you were growing up. Talk to us about those hardships and how you've been able to maneuver through that when you were little.
Definitely. One of the best mothers ever. She inspires me to this day. Oh, you trying to make me cry. You got my alpha and omega there. But my mother, Brenda Farmer, very strong. Everything from, she actually was a poet too, an actress, did Broadway. She kind of put her dreams off for me. So when we moved to Delaware at a very young age, I was younger than my daughter. She's 12. I moved here about the same time for elementary school and everything. And ever since then, I mean, even right now, she's still working hard. Been at Delaware State for over 20 years and worked her way all the way up. So the least I could do is keep going.
That's right. And her hard work ethic kind of was instilled in you as well.
Oh, yeah. We came from very humble beginnings in the project, Southeast Washington, D.C., moving to Dover, Delaware. She started all the way over. And like I said, worked her way up. And we still growing today. So. And
talk to us, she's a single mom. It's so important to highlight how not only was she a single mom, but you're a single father as well. And so talk to us about how you've been able to learn from that experience, being the child with a single mom, to now you being co-parenting and being a single father raising a beautiful daughter.
Definitely. It's a gift and a curse. My father was there, but he's actually a very, very strong man, but because of some other things, he couldn't be there in my life. So when I say she's single, she was an independent woman. She had to take that burden. And I do the same thing. My mother, strong mother, but Aaliyah, she has a strong mother as well. So I like to say independent father. My daughter lives in Virginia, so I make that 5-hour-mile trip. I said 500 total the trip anytime she needs me. Like I said, father first, God first. So for my mother, look, you making me cry. I can't see my baby. Look, she's supposed to be in school right now. She's at she had a doctor's appointment today, so I got to call her, FaceTime her when I get out of here. So.
But she's always with you. That's why we have her here.
Yes, always with me on my heart. She's on my shirt right now, 1 in 8 soil, but that's what it was all about. You even showed the picture of my mother. That was the key. She just we just closed on a new house. So
yes, talk to us about that. A lot of people have these big dreams for their moms. They want to give back. A lot of kids, and here you've been able to help her close on her house. You were a homeowner at one time and lost your house. Talk to us about this moment.
Yes. Like I said, my mom sacrificed a lot. She bought the house. I just helped close on it. But that key meant just as important to me as the key to the city. Like, that was just a small goal, something I could do to say thank you, Mom, for being there for me. And like you said, my story, I lost the house before I owned multiple. So it's like, it's all a humbling experience, and we came from very humble beginnings. So
That's right.
I don't take anything for granted.
No. And what would you share with those young African American and Latino men who are going through this struggle with raising their child and trying to fulfill their purpose and have a job? You're doing so much of this, and you're making sure that everything stays inclusive.
Yes.
And you're the prime example of how it can work. Like, you're living your dreams, and you're also being the father that your daughter needs you to be.
Appreciate that.
And you're co-parenting, so her mother's able to lean on you as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to us about, or what advice could you share that really makes you help keep everything together?
Honestly, just be willing to go through the nightmares and make your dreams come true. If you never quit, if you're always there, that's what's going to last longer than money, awards, my music, just me being there, her being able to just attach it. Every time my daddy said he's going to be there, and she can count on me.
That's right.
So for me, that's all I say. There's no real recipe. I'm still learning by the day.
Right.
Every day I learn something new.
And why is it so important to make sure she's always involved in part of your story? I mean, from your Instagram post to you going into whatever it is you have to do for your music, and also like being there when she's doing her flips. I remember you had this one video where she kept flipping and she couldn't get it, and then she actually got it. And I was like, wow, that is so powerful, because as adults, we'll fall, and some of us won't get back up. And she got back up and did that flip and boom, landed. It was just amazing.
She's amazing. I mean, gymnastics prodigy, national cheerleading champion. But even that video and just in life, it's a daughter and a dream. That's what it started for me. It was a time I didn't have a dollar in a dream. It was just a daughter, a dream. I left an overseas basketball contract when she was born. So I had already knew what the value of being there was. And this is before a book came out, before my album came out, before overseas. It was literally just a dream. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go out for it, because I want my daughter to be able to see that through me. And she's grown with it.
And talk to us about that, because I know so many young men look forward to playing basketball, want to play in the NBA here or minor league, G League, ABA, and then going overseas, you get that money.
Yeah.
So you're leaving this opportunity to live your dream to make sure that you're the father you need to be.
I vowed myself when my father couldn't be there when he wanted to, I knew I would be. So it was never about the money. And that's just how crazy God works, because it took me 360, because now here I am overseas with the music. But I just trusted in that, going out on that faith. It wasn't really a hard decision to leave that contract, because I knew I was going to be there. And I also wanted to use my basketball platform the same way I use it now. I always thought I was like more like a Muhammad Ali, Colin Kaepernick, where I wanted to use my platform and my voice. That was just my stage. And look, there's another 360 degrees. Now being able to play in the celebrity basketball games, and still, you know, I'm living that dream. I used that and didn't allow it to use me. And he just wanted to take me the humble route. Now he said, okay, I'm going to take you to the prisons, the schools, the churches, these stages, and you get to still do your, you know, your work.
Yeah, let's talk about your work. Amillion the Poet, when did you first get, how should I say it, injected with this poetry spirit? Like, at what age, and how did you cultivate that?
If you ask my mom, she said I always just been rhyming. My style of poetry was just me rapping to my heartbeat. That was before the beats came, before my brother Victory came into my life. It was just my heartbeat. And this is what I try to teach youth now. You don't need anything. Just express yourself. You know, like what I say, my life didn't rhyme, I made it poetry. So it kind of really just, it's how my brain articulates like thoughts. So I'm never really trying to rhyme. It just, okay, how do I take hell and make it sound heavenly?
Right.
You know?
That's right. And then you're going into the prisons, you're doing so much with the prisons, with the youth, in libraries. Talk to us about these different entities, and why did you choose these different institutions, and what is it that you do?
Honestly, it's all organic. To be honest, my book actually, my book came out before my album.
That's right.
And
talk to us about your book.
It was Poetry in Motion Proceeds, PIMP. And when it was like 4 chapters representing oh my goodness, y'all bringing it back. Love, life, pain, and inspiration. And to be honest, my book actually blew up in the prisons. So I felt a duty to go there and help free their minds. Before my workshops came out there, and I wanted to free these youth and make sure they didn't go behind bars. I really had my bars literally behind bars. And it kind of blew up there. So that's where my workshop started. I always felt like once I was able to do this professionally, it was my duty to be able to help someone else help themselves. Because look where we at in Delaware. A lot of people don't know you can do this professionally. You know, this started as a hobby for me, but now this is actually making a living.
Right.
And it's a calling now. So the youth, there you go. We try to keep them out of prison. So both things are equally important.
And what I like about you is the way you think. You did the book so that way you can connect with people, as you would say, with the brain, and the music, you're connecting with them with the heart and the emotions.
You get it.
Yeah,
I always looked at these as
definitely.
like drugs, positive drugs. Like,
That's right. You had this quote about you being the hope dealer and not the dope dealer.
salute to Frank Beatty. He was the first originated that, but I definitely relate to it because I look at my books as being like dope. It's a direct stream into the brain. If you want to like get knowledge and receive it, there's no bypassing that. Music is more osmosis. It's like almost like a liquor. You know, it's very easy to obtain. You can just play it and you know you get in the rhythm. The workshops is a different part of the work and how I'm able to influence and help others.
Yes, and you're working with these kids. We're talking about the youth. You go back to Cesar Ronnie. I mean, from all ages. Take us back to these moments. What is it that you're inspiring them to be? What do you talk to them about? What is the end-all, be-all goal for you?
This is actually essential. I've probably been at over, probably over 30 schools in Delaware, probably over 100 all across the country. I started with CR. That's where I went to high school at, so I make sure I'm there every year. I'll actually be graduating a class. It'll be my 4th, 5th, and 6th year, and I'll be talking to this class at their graduation. So that's going to be different for me too, but it's always mattered to me. You know that I got blue lives, black lives, white lives. I think all those things matter, but I think youth and family matters most.
And the great thing about 2 Million is that even when you go overseas and you're touring and you're doing your music, you still make time to visit the prisons and the schools there. Talk to us about that.
That's what One in a Tour was all about. I've been doing it from day one, but I kind of packaged it in a way where people can understand what was really motivating me. So when you hear songs like Keep On Trying, like it's literally, you know, just had a show, 5 a.m. back on the highway, about to stop by school on a Friday. Labels tell me don't do it, you're too accessible. But when you street with good credit, that's incredible. Like I think it's very important to be able to, them to touch you, feel you. I don't believe in idolization, but I believe that if they can feel it, they can see it, they can believe it.
Right. And talk to us about your music, the lyrics that you choose, why you write the way you write, the message you're delivering. Talk to us about it, because there's so
Just
many
all
different
from the
songs
heart.
we can get deep into. And it'd be interesting just for me to hear from your perspective as the artist, like which song is your best out of all the ones you've produced?
Oh man, it all depends on the day. I write songs with different emotions. So on a sad day, it might be Keep On Trying. I might need to keep my head up. When I'm overseas, it might be 6 p.m. in London. Look, this is Canada up next, but it might be 6 p.m. in London, where I'm just thinking back to where I came from and how far I came, and you know, I just want others to come with me and just connect those dots. It all depends. It all depends. I might be out socializing. It might be Jodeci. That's more of a club record, you know. It all depends on the day.
Right.
It
And
all
success
depends on the
doesn't
day.
happen overnight. A lot of people always see the end
no.
all be all when we're very accomplished, and you've been doing this
no.
well over 10 years.
Oh, no, that's-
Talk to us about the hustle, as they would say.
Well, yeah, I came up on my 10-year mark, and I remember seeing a quote that said it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. I believe it, because it's been, I did 4 years with my book, 5 years as a poet, and then it evolved into, it's been 5 years now, becoming an international artist. Actually, I would say 3 years. My first 2 years, I was busy just making the U.S. and trying to put Delaware all over the map. Salute to the Queen Theater. Salute to Firefly. All these platforms allow me to be here today.
Yes, and Amillion The Poet, one thing I like about Firefly, so interesting you bring that up, is that you went from actually being a part of the crowd and making sure everyone got to know who you were giving your music out for free, to becoming an artist that now people were coming to see, and you're on that platform, on that stage. Talk to
Very
us
much
about
true.
that moment and how, just for you as an artist, you were on the other side of the stage, and then
Yes,
you
ma'am.
became the man on the stage that everybody came to see.
That's my humble journey that I don't mind people knowing. You know, they see all the success, but I literally started, like I said, I saw this platform and we didn't have it in Delaware at the time. So when it was new, I'm here traveling all around the country trying to make it happen. So when we got that large platform, I felt I still needed to earn my spot. I felt I still needed to earn it. And it took 3 years. And I was already traveling the country, but I ended up meeting Red Frog with Golden Voice, which is the production company, while I was in London. So that didn't even come from, Delaware. A lot of people don't know that story. But I actually met Golden Voice while I was touring in the UK, and got that word that I would be getting on that stage, and it was a blessing to be able to represent the state.
And what could you share with us in your journey going overseas and here and throughout the country, that you could share with our viewers that might be impactful for them?
Oh, man, it's a lot. But just straight honesty, man. My first show, I went over there, was one show, literally, in the UK. And by the time I got paid for it, it X'd out all my hotels and my airfare. But to me, that experience was priceless. And by the time I left, I already had 2 shows booked for the next year. So just taking that leap of faith. The next year I came, by the time I got done those 2 shows, I already had 5 for the next year. And then that year it wasn't only 5 shows, but 2 of them were already sold out.
Okay.
So that was just a humble journey, and now I'm going on my 5th year, and I'm just trying to do it even bigger and better, and bring some more people with me.
Right, and
But-
you're always saying too, it's not always about the money, it's about the blessing.
Definitely. Every time I went for the blessing, he ended up, speaking of God, he ended up providing me with everything I ever could want and need. So I stopped chasing the money. I just followed my heart.
And who inspires you, Amillion? I know as an artist, sometimes it could be another artist, but you've shared with me about a certain particular person, that angel in your life that has inspired you and continues to inspire you. Talk to us about that and anything you want to share in regards to just having gone through that moment.
I think the one you're referring to is my musical angel.
Yes.
My broski Victory, the producer. It's been 4 years since he passed. So he actually passed as my career was just about to take off. Wow. And he was the one that actually inspired me to go back into music. I had some dibble-dabbles with music earlier when I was about 19, but I was still in love with basketball.
Okay.
So I was just, once again, following that journey, And at the time, he just knew about the book and the poetry, but he knew my lyrics. Like, I didn't have the prototypical poetry style. Every time I would perform, I would never hear a finger snap. And he was like, listen, Mill, with my beats, I think you could be the one to take this platform farther than Delaware. And he called it right. And I haven't stopped since. So I got him tatted on me. He's still with me. He was with me on that stage, with me everywhere I go. But I've lost a lot of people, to be honest with you. It's
I
been
was
a
going to
lot
say,
of
how do you deal with
funerals.
death? We all deal with death, but you're still being so successful as an artist.
For every person you lose, you gain an angel. So I feel like I got a lot of people watching over me, a lot of people depending on me, a lot of people counting on me. And I just use this as all inspiration.
And having had this dream at such a young age and now living it, what are your thoughts? Is it everything you thought it would be, you want it to be? Are you making it what you want it to be?
That's a good question. I'm still living in the moment. I still go through things, more money, more problems, more blessings, more stressings. And I just feel it's all a part of a learning experience that I can help that other person go through less. But I'm still going through it.
Right.
We already go to Canada, but even Canada was just postponed 3 weeks, but it allowed me to be here today. So I stopped questioning things, and I'm here.
Oh,
I'm
that's
here.
amazing. And so what is next for you?
We got Canada. I actually got Wesley College's first ever concert that they're going to do with hip hop. I've done Delaware State Homecoming and University of Delaware.
Okay.
So this is going to be fun to be home. Wesley, that should be coming out soon, so I'm giving y'all the exclusive to that. Man, I gotta look at that calendar. I think we got New Jersey coming up as well.
Yeah.
Have a good event also with the Black History Month. They're gonna be doing the revealing at the Queen Theater
Yes,
coming up.
WITN 22. They is WITN
Yes,
22.
yes. You know, little plug.
Yes, shout out to
And,
India Sage.
Yes, salute to India Sage. I just was reading her book, by the way.
Yes,
But,
another author.
Yes. So I'm just proud. If people can follow me, I'm always making sure that the calendar is up there, but I'm trying to live in the moment.
Right.
You know.
And so, what words of encouragement would you give to that next artist who's trying to get to your level?
Be better than me. Learn from what they say, a wise person learns from others, but the wisest person learns from others' mistakes.
That's right.
Learn from mine. I'm vivid with mine. I'm honest with my journey. I talk about my ups, my downs. Just be true to yourself. Can't nobody do what you do, the way you do it, how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So find that 1 in a million within you and just thank me later. You know, I thank God every day. So
Now,
just be true.
Awesome, thank you. Just be true to yourself. Now, I know you've done hundreds of interviews, but for this one, I would like for the viewers to see the process that you go through.
Oh,
so
man.
if you can do something organic for us, so we can actually see how you think about the lyrics, you come out with the lyrics, and then it becomes that song.
Just an organic process in today or just in life?
Just now, can you spit something for us? Some bars that you would say?
I can keep it going where we was at before. Earlier we talked about keep on trying, and I said just had a show. That was literally, I was just leaving the Queen Theater with Miss Yola, and we just performed. So I said just had a show, 5 a.m. back on the highway, about to stop by school on a Friday. I was literally on my way to Texas, in North Carolina, to a school. Just had a show, 5 a.m. back on the highway, about to stop by school on a Friday. Labels tell me don't do it, you're too accessible. But when you street with good credit, that's incredible. I'm getting a lot of offers now with these bidding wars with these major labels, and I remain independent right now. But when they let me know that you're too accessible, I kind of disagreed. I may have cut back on some workshops, but I always want to at least have a platform where I could still touch them. So I'm just being smarter with it. It's allowed me to now evolve it from, you know, these workshops to soon I'll be doing summer camps. You know?
Definitely. And what is important in a record company, since you've been through that experience?
Just ownership. I own everything from my name to my tours, everything, book royalties. I own everything. I was taught early. I went to school for business management and social work. So I think I'm still social working through my music and through my poetry. But the business side, I handle that. I'm very good with that and learning every day.
And how important is that to make sure that you have your own, you remain to have your own, you never sell out? And do you get the same respect as an artist?
I believe so. But at the end of the day, it's about self-respect. However someone else views me, that's on them. I got to do my job. I got to keep my lights on. And at the same time, I can't dim my light for anyone else in life.
Before we leave, can you share with others about that? Because I feel like so many artists and just people in general in this world that we live in think that they have to dim a person's light, when I believe we all have something that we can contribute to this world. So what is your perspective on that and making sure that everyone shines their own light in their own way?
I say it all the time. I probably got so many quotables. It's just how I think, but as soon as you said it, it's not the light that shines on you, it's the light that shines in you.
That's right.
Find that inner light. Everything else will take care of itself.
Wonderful. And anything else you'd like to share with us before we leave?
Oh man, I'm just blessed to be here. I want to share this with you. I got a keepsake. They don't do DVDs no more, but this is a keepsake to my movie.
I still have my DVD player.
It's a keepsake to the movie, to the movement. Scholarships. I want to share the fact that every year I got a scholarship for youth, $2,500. Oh man, look. Salute to the Teagues, Alicia, George Teague. This family is combined with me in the past years, and I'm looking to combine with anyone who wants to help these youth get into school. So they write a poem, a rap, or a song about why they want to go to school, and we choose them. And it's up to about 3 from in school and college.
That's right.
So this year I want to make it even bigger. So anybody out there that want to help these youth help themselves, please contact me.
And how important is it to keep planting that seed and always coming back to Delaware?
Everything. It means nothing if you can't do that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amillion. I appreciate you
thank
coming
you.
out here.
God
Thank
bless
you
you.
so much. And I don't even know what to say. I can't say best of luck because you're doing it.
Just keep praying for me. I'm going to keep doing the same thing.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of all of us here at WITN 22, I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for watching this episode of In Focus. I've been your host, Yesenia Taveras.